Welcome back to a little update video. We will look if this today was the bottom for AMC. We will look if GameStop will go now up or down. We make a little update on BYND. Because of the shitty move today, we will look at DJT too. I make a bigger update on KOSS because of the synchronization with AMC and GME. Then we will look because of the price action on Bed Bath & Beyond, and because of community wishes, we will look at FFAI and another one I can't say what it is. Okay, if you're interested, just stay tuned. As always, I'm using the Fractal Method. I will link the explanation video at the end of the video, or you just search for the playlist Fractal Method on my channel. Okay, well then let's jump into AMC. And as always, today we will just look what we have done for the big update. 2-part squeeze, 1-part squeeze, price target, how it should look like. I will link the big update video at the end of the video. Today we will just look what we have done. So let's zoom in. So was that the bottom today? Do we have a chance for next week? And sadly, I have to say no. Just because if you look here, again, we have a double bottom. Yeah, I mean, this was already a double bottom. And I said, we will come down again. I mean, this was Wednesday. And I said, in the best case, till Friday, till today, we get a knife. We didn't got it. We even extended our double bottom because now we have a triple bottom. This is not the low. We will fall lower, in my opinion. Especially also, if you watched my last videos, that is not what we want to see. We want to see a single big candle down and a straight V to the upside, like 2021, 2024, 2025. This wasn't it. This shitty thing here is the same like this here, this here, this here, and this here, sadly. Yeah. So we have to wait. I know it's boring, it's nerfy, or however you call it, but we still have to do a new low. And also, just saying, just my personal opinion, if anybody is telling you it's 100% end of March, it's 100% end of April, or it's 100% May, just ask these people why. Yeah, because in my opinion, even if I say that, yeah, if I get into the city, it's 100% this, ask why. Yeah, because as long as we don't get this bottom, in my opinion, nobody can tell you when. Yeah, or it's just saying next week just to get more views. It's only my opinion. Yeah, for me, next week is 99%. So not we say 100%, 99%. No way we get a squeeze. Even, and I said it really absolutely clearly, even if we get something like that in the morning on Monday pre-market, yeah, you still have to do the higher low. Yeah, so no, my opinion, no, we still have to look for the bottom. Okay, was a short update, I know, but there's just nothing to say right now. Boring, shitty. I would like to see this today. We didn't got it. Bad luck. Okay, next one is GME. Also for GME, for the full story, for price targets, for how it should look like, I mean the squeeze, I will link the big update video at the end of the video. Today, we will just look what we have done this week, and there is more to say on GME than on AMC. So let's zoom in. So this time I will do again the version thing. Yeah, I will give you 3 versions. Yeah, and I will say tell you how, in my opinion, what are the most likely ones. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. This one is still our old version. Yeah. Means, yeah, our bottom was November 20, 2025. this here was our tiny higher low, micro higher low. This here was just our little A run, and this here was our A pullback. The only thing which here really changed is this drop here, because to make this in any kind of way working is that this here is our micro higher low for our A, because back then, so this week, this was our tiny A, tiny B, and we would run to our tiny C, which would have been our B, the B to this A. Problem with this is, with this drop today, no. You see that the A would still work. Yeah, you run to your little A, 0.618 pullback, and you run to your B. The problem is your B is a 0.5 or 0.61 pullback from your A bottom. You already broke the 786. This is impossible to be A or B. So the only way to make this version still working means that this whole thing, as I said, is just higher low of this A. In that case also, you still have to drop. You have to come down to 23.25 and bounce there. Yeah? Important is you have to bounce there. Yeah? Because if you touch or break 22.81, the bearish version will take place. So let's see. So for this version, for version 1, which is the second most likely still in my opinion, you will go down under, I'll make that absolutely clear, you will go down under 23.25, but you're holding over 22.79, and then you will go up. Yeah? Then you will go up to your B if you're really doing this B with the pullback, or just going up to your big C, which is your big A. We have to see, but the important part is you will go up here. You will go up here. This is your big A, the last A you need before the squeeze. This has to be over 28. I would say it's a range for 28 to 35. Then you do your 0.5, 0.618 pullback. And in the moment, as always, in the moment you reach this point, AMC should also be finished and we can squeeze. Good. Version 1, second most likely one. Now to version 2. Version 2 is this one. And this is for me the most likely one now, just because of this drop. I know everyone is talking about the EMAs, everyone is talking about the golden cross. And that's absolutely fine. Just saying, for the EMAs, till today, they were absolutely bullish. But they are already crawling to the downside. I mean, if you bounce now here, then they will get bullish again. But right now, they are already crawling to the downside. Just saying. For version 2, nothing really terrible will happen. Yeah, your November 20 is still your low. You still did your micro higher low. The only thing which really is changing, that this whole thing here is your last higher low before you go to your A. That means this peak we did was our midpoint. This peak on March 10 was our midpoint. Now you have to fall under 22.83. You will most likely come up again, but you won't break this trend line. This will be your T, and then you will finish your higher low. How deep does that go? Well, you have to fall even once, even if it's only 1 cent, under $20.86. And then you go to your A, pullback, squeeze. For levels, yeah, when I am wrong, when I am right. For levels, whatever you're doing here, even if you're doing version 1, if you break over 25.50, as I said in the last videos too, forget any bearish alternative, you will go up. If you touch or break 22.82, I tell you, we will do version 2. Yeah. And with this drop here, I know I already said that, but with this drop here, especially because if this is really the midpoint M, you get your answer next week, because then you will drop. Just saying. And version 3, not thinking that, but still, if you touch or break $19.61, I tell you, you will go to what so many people are talking about, and that is 17, so 18, 17, 15. Yeah, this means nothing more than this here was T, and you will fall down. And then you will have to do your higher low again, and then A and A pullback. Also clear is, if you do that, that's 100% not March, 100% not April. Yeah, and May gets already critical. This is a lot of price. Otherwise, you just gap down. I mean, then okay, maybe. Yeah, not seeing that yet, but always look at levels. Yeah, only because I don't think that this won't happen. I will never say the worst thing which can happen to GME this week is May 10th. Yeah, and some people will know what I mean. Yeah? Some people don't, but it doesn't matter. Yeah? Always have at least one alternative. Always. Yeah. You saw that in my last video. What happens if you don't have alternatives? Yeah. If you're absolutely bullish, absolutely bearish, it can only go wrong. So version 1, maybe. Version 2, most likely. Version 3, okay. Good. Next one is KOSS. So for KOSS, I completely renewed the chart. I think it's already a long time ago. For KOSS, it's important because it's always running with AMC and GME, so there is a kind of synchronization here. And we could look at it if they're still running together. I mean, if KOSS is nearly finished, well, then AMC and GME should be finished or nearly finished too. For KOSS is important. Whatever happened since IPO doesn't really matter. What I mean with that? I mean with that, it doesn't matter if this whole thing here is CLM or T. Doesn't matter. The main point here is that here's our all-time low. This from March 2020 till April 2024 is our macro higher low. And from May 2024 till today is our micro higher low. Quite the same what GME right now is doing. Why is this macro higher low? Just because if you take your FIB, you see you fell under the 786. And your A is here, your A bottom is here, so it's V under A. So this is a macro higher low. And then we look at the micro higher low. And there are two ways. So we have two versions for this. Bullish version means from our April 2024 bottom till our April 7 bottom 2025. This is our micro higher low finished. The micro higher low to the big macro higher low. And this thing here from May 2025 till today is our micro higher low for the micro higher low. I know a lot of higher lows. Is this micro higher low already finished? Well, we take our FIB from the bottom to the peak, and you see we are under the 786. We are also clearly under A. So technically, this thing is finished. The only thing, because we are always doing higher lows or micro higher lows, you see that perfectly here. before we ran in 2024, we did a little micro high low. We got a V, micro high low, then we ran. The same in 2020, you did your V, you did a bigger high low, and then you started running. Yeah. So even if this here is finished, I still think you will have to do, as always, a micro high low. Yeah. Bottom wise, this looks absolutely nice. If you look at the 1 hour, yeah, there is, come on, there's no double bottom. It's one candle. Yeah, so KOSS looks finished. Only thing is, you still need this micro high low, and the problem is KOSS is very, very slow. So even if this is technically looking absolutely finished, doesn't mean this shit can run in next week or in 2 weeks, because this micro high low can easily take 3-4 weeks or months. Yeah. Important here is you are not allowed, for the bullish thesis, you are not allowed to touch or break $3.52. If you touch or break this isn't high or low. In that case, this would be T. Then you will come down here, and then you have to do the higher low again. This will take time. Yeah. And that's not even the most bearish version, but this easily for KOSS takes 1 year. Easily. Yeah. And then the problem is, then we can argue about it. Is it still synced with AMC or GME, or do we just say this looks so bad it isn't synced? You know, yeah? So don't touch 352. Also, one last point. The most bearish version is that this isn't a higher low, that this is just M. Yeah. In that case, you will break even 2024, you will come up again to your T. This will take ages, 5 to 10 years. Don't think that, but always have an alternative. But this only comes into play if you touch or break $2.30. Don't think that. Yeah. So KOSS looks good. And if KOSS looks good, well, then AMC and GME will also look good. Yeah. I just don't think, my personal opinion, it will be much. I just have to wait for landmarks. Especially AMC needs to find its bottom. Okay, so much for KOSS. Now we will go to something bad, DJT. And for DJT, also, if you want to see the full tracking, I will post the big update video again at the end of the video. There's the full tracking. Today we will just look what we have done. And to say this, even with this move today, nothing is changing for the macro tracking. The main problem for DJT now is we broke and made a new all-time low. And the main problem is that our previous tracking was that this was our higher low. Yeah? And here on February the 17th was our all-time low. And we broke today. Yeah. And I already got the question today, can't that be just a wick or volatility or whatever? No. If you break an all-time low and higher low, the higher low is gone. Yeah. There, in at least in my tracking, there is no exception for this. If you break, it doesn't matter who it did or whatever, or if it's just a 1 second wick, break is break. So this higher low is dead. So the only thing this could be is now tiny t. Yeah, this whole thing is tiny t. Also to say that technically this tiny t is already finished because it started here and we came lower than the starting point, so it's finished. Only problem is normally you don't see such small drops for your T ending. Normally your T ending is deeper and more violently. So I don't think that was it for the drop. And the next thing is we have no support resistance line down here, nothing. But what we have is quite a perfect head and shoulders. Left shoulder, right shoulder, head. And normally you take from the peak of your head to where the head and shoulder is starting a line, and this is your range. It doesn't have to go the completely range down, but somewhere in here. So my range, I already said that in the, I think in the comments, or I don't know if it said it in the last video, but my range is 880 to 840. Yeah, I don't think that DJT will go delisting. I also don't think there's any danger of a reverse split because we are at $9. Yeah, there won't be a reverse split in my opinion. The main problem for this right now is wherever we go, or if we're already bouncing here, yeah, could be technically T is finished. You still have to do now again your higher low. That's the shitty part. It's time. Yeah, we are losing time. Yeah, so wait for the bottom, wait for the next higher low, and then we can track further. Sadly, yeah, I thought it would hold. It looked fine. Today it broke. Okay, that's for DJT. Next one is Bad Bath and Beyond. So Bad Bath and Beyond is looking way better, yeah, for now. So for Bad Bath and Beyond, we are looking from March 2020 till today. We have a bullish and a bearish version. I'm tending way more for the bullish version. We start with the bearish version because it is more quick. You have your V. Also here in 2020 in March, you have a higher low because you're not squeezing from the V. Also here to say, it's a little exception. You see, Bad Bath and Beyond did a double button. So for Bad Bath and Beyond, double button doesn't mean anything. Yeah, just for clarification, if we get a double button, Bad Bath and Beyond already squeezed from a double button. So it's not like AMC. Then we went up. Yeah, we didn't really got A pullback, B pullback. We just went to our C. Then our peak, perfect lower high, perfect midpoint, perfect T. So for the bearish version, your T was the last peak with it. And that means your T was October 10, yeah, or October 8. That also means you will fall through this. You have to break $3.50. And the only question is, are you holding higher, your all-time low or not? That's the bearish version. Confirmation for this, there is none, because the only confirmation is you will do this if you break 350. And then it's already too late. Just saying. I'm not standing to this. The bullish version means April, what was that? April 8 was the finish of this fractal. And from April 8, 2025 till today, you're just doing higher low. Before we go into micro tracking in this, your next target is you're breaking out of this trend line. You won't break under this trend line again, and you will go higher than your T. So something over 15, under 36. This would be your A. Then 0.5, 0.6 or breakout retest. Then you go to your B. Your B has to be over $36, $37, 0.5 pullback. And then the only question is, are you breaking all-time highs or not? Before we go into micro tracking here, you see here, after you did your higher low, you just ran. Yeah, your A is here, your B is here. You had a little pullbacks here, but these ones weren't 0.5s, not at all. So if we repeating this move, you won't get these pullbacks. Just say. Okay, for the micro tracking, for our higher low, is the higher low this one finished? And I would say yes. Yeah? If you're not breaking down here and doing the bearish version, in my opinion, you're finished. Why? Just because you have here your A, here your B. Also, if you're taking your FIB, you're near the 0.5 working, and from here to here, you bounce at the 0.5, also working. Perfect. You have your midpoint, you have your perfect T, you have your V. So your V under A, higher low, is always ending in a V under A. And even if we take our FIBs today on Thursday, we peaked under it and immediately bounced. Yeah. Also here, yeah, something to say. I want to see this shit on AMC for fuck's sake. Yeah, exactly something like this would be perfect. Yeah. Okay, so there are two ways we could go now. First one, we're just going from here. Yeah, you know already your targets, we are finished to go. Or as many times, we just need another micro higher low. Yeah. In that case, you won't break over this trend line. That means you won't go over $596. Come back down to your 786, and then you go. Yeah, but this thing looks great. Yeah. For confirmation levels, if you're just jumping the higher low, which I don't think so, but if you go over 770, I think there's no alternative to the downside anymore. And absolutely, confirmation would be $10. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, but Bed Bath & Beyond looks great. Maybe GME is buying it. Whatever news we will get. Also, one thing: if we're not going downside and playing the bearish version, I would still say that you get, and we are not doing this shit, yeah, and we're doing it one by one. I would still say $15 to $25, no financial advice. We get that till mid-end of July. Would be just my prediction. Let's see. Okay, next one is BYND. As always, before we go into micro tracking, for the big version with how the squeezes could look like and, I will link the big update video at the end of the video if you're interested. Today we will just look what we have done. And before we look what we have done, nothing till now changed. I still think that we get our big A, which should be over $15 to $25-ish, no financial advice. I'm still the opinion we get that till April 12th to April 23rd, if you're not going the bearish version. Before we go into the bullish versions, the absolutely bearish version would be if you break $50, 50 cents, and you're doing an all-time low. Yeah, then you can forget this time, because then this was T. You have to do a V, higher, low, blah, blah. This will take time and reverse splits and whatever. Not thinking that, but this would be the absolute bad version. Now to the bullish versions. What changed today and yesterday? And here is the perfect example, because we were micro tracking yesterday the shit down here. And I said I wouldn't do that because the margin of error is so small and you will get crazy. And yesterday we tracked this here still as AB. With this break today and yesterday, no, that can't be A and B because we are way too low. But everything is still fine. Yeah? So for the absolute bullish version 1, most likely still, in my opinion, this here, February 5th, was the ending of our big macro higher low. We did the small micro higher low, we did the breakout, this is our tiny A, and we did the A pullback. Still perfect, because if you take the fib to here, it's still near the 618, and we didn't touch the 786. So this is still our little tiny A. And what we have done today, because I already got the question, was, as you said, just micro higher low. We peaked under it and we bounced. So in the best case, next week is, I think this time is really earnings, we just go up. Also, I mean, that's just an opinion. Falling into earnings is bullish. For me, at least more bullish than running into earnings. Falling into earnings is bullish. For levels, again, whatever we are doing here in the big update video, I showed you exactly which steps we could do for the big levels. Everything over 84 cents, nothing changed, is bullish. Everything over 89 cents and every bearish alternative to the downside is gone for me personally. Again, if you break here to the downside and you're touching 71 cents and 66, yeah, this can't be A anymore. In that case, it's version 2, higher low. The trend line would change to that, and you still have a gap open here between 66 and 65. If you touch or break this level, you will fill that. Yeah, and then you go up. And you can really only hope that you're not touching 84 cents 59. Yeah, because if you touch this, this is your T. And that the last straw of hope is that you're holding all-time low. Yeah, because if you're not holding all-time low, it gets really ugly. I'm not thinking that, yeah, but for levels, it's always about levels. Yeah, I can tend to something, but if you're breaking levels, upside or downside, you can't just say it was just a week, day, or whatever. Levels are levels. If you're breaking this, upside. If you're breaking 71, downside. If you're breaking 64, yeah, doesn't matter what anybody is saying, doesn't matter what I am saying. If you break these levels, this will happen. Okay, that's for and Beyond looks good still. I'm really interested what happens next week if we get earnings. Yeah, I mean, I don't care if there are earnings, but it would be the perfect catalyst. Okay. Because someone wished it, we take a tiny look at FFAI. Yeah, and for FFAI, well, I mean, fractal-wise, macro fractal-wise, nothing changed. But I already said in the last videos, if you break down here, yeah, at $1, and especially our last one, if you break 44 cents, you will go to 30 or 20 cents. And I already said it will get very dangerous with OTC, bankruptcy, or reverse split. Yeah. Nothing of that we have still. Yeah, there's no news, I think, about this still, but the danger gets bigger and bigger. And well, we are at 35. Yeah. Just in short for the tracking, fractal-wise, if this thing is surviving, it's still the fractal is still working. Yeah. Whenever you get and wherever you get your V, you will do a higher low, and your next target is still for A $4, for B $35, and for C 153. Only problem is, and I think I showed that last time already, is this here. Yeah. Left side and right side is nearly the same. The only difference the right side is zoomed in at this here. Yeah. But the main problem for FFAI right now is that this section here is repeating right now. Yeah. You have here a V, you have here V, you're doing a big higher low, you're doing a big higher low, then you're going in the sideways trend, then you're going into the sideways trend, and then you break to the downside. And here comes the tricky part, because you knife down, you knife down, you make a bounce, you make a bounce, you knife again, and make another bounce, and make another bounce. The thing is, this could now be the bottom. Only problem is you have here again a double bottom, and for FFAI it's sadly the same, that double buttons aren't bullish, and in my opinion you're still missing one drop. That's the shitty part. I really think you will get another drop, wherever this will be, 30, 25 or whatever. And then is the problem, are they going into a reverse split or not? Yeah. That's why I already said here, hands off, hands off. I'm not saying it isn't a squeeze play anymore, but wherever your bottom here is, yeah, okay, let's say your bottom is 30 cents, yeah, or let's say this was the bottom, which I really don't think, because double bottom, not bullish. You still have to do your higher low. Still. Every squeeze FFAI did, every single one, you had a higher low. Every time. So wherever here the bottom is, you still have to do a higher low. And this higher low right now wouldn't break 90 cents, $1. And then we can talk about squeezy. This could take time. Yeah. So sadly, this went in the wrong direction. It's still tracking fractally, but back here at $1, it was still looking good. Down here, it's becoming even more riskier than AMC, in my opinion. But okay. Okay, and last one is the community wish. I can't say the name. Onyx Pharmaceuticals Holding. Oh, okay, I can talk the name. So yeah, the thing is, why even playing this? Just saying. One thing I can guarantee you, if you are a long time holder, yeah. However, how bullish this ever looks, this is a Moulin chart. If you know this electric company, you never ever get to these price targets again. Just saying, never. I mean, you can go up here, but with a massive forward split. You won't get, I mean, I think there were already a lot of reverse splits in my opinion. Yeah, I think so. If you bought here, you will never get your money back. Yeah. If I say that, doesn't matter. You won't see a share for 1 million. No way. For tracking wise, this would be the bullish version. Yeah. Again, your next targets would be A and B, but again, your A is possible to get without a forward split. Your B, no way. No chance you get a share at 1 million. If you go up here, you will do a forward split. For the bullish tracking, this was your T. This was your all-time low at 652. You're doing right now higher low. Even for the bullish version, you still have to come down to $11.14. Yeah, you still have to. You still have to come down, and then you can start going. Yeah. Fractal wise, we never saw AOB. Yeah, so I can't tell you if you're doing an A pullback B. What should be clear is your A has to go over your T. That means your A should be over 202. Yeah, but then you will do a reverse split, a forward split. Otherwise, no. Only thing is, because this is just dropping, if you break under what is it, $7, you do a new low, then a higher low. Yeah. And then I tell you, we're getting into the range where such stock is the same like ETFs, which just go up. Yeah. I wouldn't play these ones. Yeah. Back here, this was still okay. This Smith, every time you see stocks with these numbers, hands off, really, hands off. Yeah. Perfect example, I don't know if you know it, I already said it, is Moon, and Moon never stopped. Never. Yeah. Even after the name, I think it's Bollinger or whatever it is. Nowadays, it's just still drop. Some stocks are just from IPO till delisting, they just drop. Sadly, I can't say anything else than this right now. Okay. As always, explanation video here, playlist here. The big update video I will put back here for AMC, DJT, GameStop. If you liked it, you can leave a like. If you want to see more, give me an abo. And let's see what happens next week. I wish you a nice weekend.